Hey man, let me get off the phone though, cause
So
I'm on my
the
bike, so I'm
backyard
watching the boxing on my phone right now.
while riding your motorcycle?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's the Friday before the Lomachenko Lopez fight. I haven't made a video since the one I talked about last, which was the Jamel Charlo Rosario fight. Of course, if you watch that video, I was betting on Rosario. I thought I thought he'd be able to make it through the fight with him. Um, quite honestly, fight win it kind of how I expected it to go. As I had mentioned on both of those videos I made, if you asked me outright, no money on the line, no odds, anything like that, who I thought was going to win, I would have picked Jamel. I thought it was going to be if he won, he'd probably score a knockout, just catch the guy. But honestly, I thought Rosario would be able to get to him a little bit more. Well, actually, he got to him just kind of how I thought he would. I thought in the rounds that he didn't go down, I thought he did win those. I know this fight was a couple weeks ago, I think now. So I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it. I lost. Loss is loss. You know what I'm saying? Jamal Charlo fighting Deverenchenko went exactly how I thought it would. So I did well there. Exactly as in no challenge whatsoever. There was no opposition. He was just too strong, too big, too good of a jab, too technical, too safe. Um, Deverenchenko never had a chance, as I had said. I didn't think, and he sure didn't. But I want to talk today about the Vasyl Lomachenko Lopez fight. Uh, Seen Teofimo Lopez fight in person. I think it was the Magdaleno fight. It was the undercard in the Kovalev Avadas 2 fight in Dallas. That was there at the Ford Center. We were at that Dallas Cowboys practice stadium. Nice little place. Big fan of Teofimo Lopez. Kid's mean. He's got a future. Uh, I don't think that new future starts tomorrow night, though. I just don't think he's got what it takes to beat Lomachenko. These are some nice houses out here. I've never been to this area in my neck of the woods here, and golly, some nice houses for what I'm used to seeing. Anyways, getting distracted here by the great, beautiful houses. um, Yeah, when I started thinking about this fight, I'm a big fan of Lomachenko too. I'm a fan of both people. Never seen Lomachenko fight in person. I hope I get to at some point. Never got to see Mayweather fight, and that always saddens me. But the this fight, a lot of people, and including myself, kind of thought it reminded me. It reminds us of the uh, Canelo Alvarez Mayweather fight. I should say Mayweather Alvarez fight. In a sense, it does. You got the younger guy, he's supposed to be the stronger guy. Um, I get that. I get that. A lot of people say it's going to end because it's going to be the same thing. It's just Lomachenko's too much for the young guy. This guy's too green. I took off in second gear there. I could see that. I could see that comparison. I don't think the fights are going to play out exactly or very similar, though. And that's one of the reasons I really like watching Lomachenko fight. Now, Mayweather's probably one of hands down, he's my favorite fighter that I've watched in my era. And I started watching boxing late. I didn't start watching boxing until 2005. I happened to see Diego Corrales Castillo for one fight, catch it by accident, and I fell in love with the sport ever since. I'm talking. I watched every Friday night fights with Teddy Atlas breaking down on ESPN. I didn't miss. I subscribed to Showtime so I could watch that. Subscribed to HBO so I could watch HBO boxing. Uh, yeah, I became an instant fan, and I actually cared more about the sport moving forward from that first fight than I ever did watching the NFL. I'm a big Cowboys fan, but not like I'm a boxing fan since then. And went on a tangent there for a moment. I forget what I was saying. I'm sorry. I tend to do that sometimes every once in a while, especially getting distracted out here when you're riding around. But I don't see the similarities because Mayweather, it's different. Oh, look at these beautiful deer. Got to watch out. These guys will jump in front of me. Look at him. Look at him. See, he went in front of me. Um, because Mayweather fought much differently. And for that reason, I don't think this fight's going to play out anything like the Mayweather Canelo Alvarez fight did. I do think the end result, the veteran's going to be too knowledgeable, too experienced, not too talented, but too skilled for the young Lopez. I think I think that we'll have that similarity. But as far as how the fights play out, Mayweather. The reason I loved watching him is I've always been a fan of defense. I don't care if it's in football. I don't care when I first started watching the World Cup, which I don't know anything about soccer. I just happened to find that and bet a lot on a couple of good teams that I guess got lucky, When I play chess, when I play pool, defense is a thing that I love, And Mayweather, to me, and like I said, that's when I started watching in 2005, is the best example of or closest example to perfect defenses I've ever seen in any other fighter. For that reason, I'm a fan alone. Outside the ring, I could care less. But his fighting style, I loved it. I loved it. Matrix is not like that at all, though. So this is going to be a totally different fight. And what makes watching, in my opinion, Lomachenko so interesting is because he doesn't fight in that same defensive style. They call him the Matrix. Say he's hard to hit. He'll get hit. Everybody's going to get hit. I mean, that being said. But what makes him interesting is he stays right there in the pocket. He's a master of fighting inside the pocket, fighting in a range where he's at range, but he's not because he's so fast. His reflexes are so quick. And then he mixes it up, of course, with his offense. And I think his skills in there are just going to be too great Saturday night for Lopez. I don't see. I think the odds here on this one are pretty accurate. I was telling a couple of people here before I made this video. I would take Lomachenko up to probably minus 500, minus 550. I'd feel comfortable. I feel like that's safe odds, and probably even higher than that in this fight. I don't give Lopez much of a chance. I know that's probably going to anger some Lopez fans, but it's the truth. Obviously, yes, everybody's got a puncher's chance. Everybody's got a puncher's chance, and obviously he can land. Lomachenko's been down, but I don't see that happening. I think Lomachenko's going to take this fight very seriously. I think he's going to come with his A game, and he was already one to not make many mistakes. So fighting great for 12 rounds is not out of his picture, out of his realm. What I do believe, though, is there's one single thing that popped out to me the most, though, when I watched the Lopez fight that made me think that, yeah, he's overmatched. And that was just the way he fight, his style. He keeps that left hand down and his left front arm down. And I think his head's just going to be there to pop with Lomachenko's close right hand, the jab, just snapping it at him. I think it's going to be there, quite honestly, from the early mid-rounds. And from there, once he starts landing that, getting that gauge right, that distance gauge, I think it's just going to be easy work. I think it's going to look a lot like a lot of his other fights, Lomachenko, that is. I don't see Lopez posing much of a problem beyond the first 4 or 5 rounds. I think by that time he'll be frustrated enough where he's not going to know what to do. And in my opinion, I don't think he can depend on his corner, on his father, to give him the right direction when he's getting tapped all day, getting frustrated. And then Lomachenko starts mixing those taps in, those frequent taps that you can't get away from, the touches, the here on the body. He'll start mixing those in with the power. They're selling this fight, and a lot of people agree with this, and I somewhat do to an extent that Lopez is the bigger, stronger fighter. Yes, he is. But I don't know that he's the more effective, powerful. I don't know that he's better at landing the more effective, powerful punches when it comes down to it. I question that. But it'll be interesting. It's one I'm definitely looking forward to. What I was going to mention is, yes, with Lomachenko, what he'll start doing is landing that jab. Again, he's standing in the southpaw stance. His right hand's going to be up in front of him, and I think he's just going to be close enough, stay in that range I was describing earlier, where he'll be able to reach out and touch Lopez, I think, midway through the fight and beyond at will, and that right hand is going to do damage. When he starts picking that hand up, I haven't seen, at least I didn't recognize any significant shots to the body that Lopez has ever been tested with. I'm anxious to see that because I think Lomachenko will start landing those if if and when, especially, Lopez realizes he's got to block Lomachenko's jab. It should be interesting. It should be interesting. But I don't believe it's going to be very competitive. At least not, like I said, after the first half of the fight. And the only reason, I don't know that it would even be very competitive during the first half of the fight, or somewhere after the first half of the fight. I don't believe it'll be very competitive, but I'm not even sure that it would be very competitive in that first half of the fight. I think it'll be more exciting. I think Lopez at that point in the first 4 rounds, he'll probably have a lot of confidence. It won't have been broken down just yet. I know that sounds odd, but this is how I feel about it. And he'll be swinging. He'll be swinging more. Now, when he starts missing those, you do that for a few rounds, and then you're getting Lomachenko's gonna make him pay. When he makes a miss, he's gonna make him pay. And I don't know. I haven't seen Lopez in that kind of a fight where I can say confidently, I think he's gonna do just fine. He'll be able to make it through. Now, he may be able to survive those rounds. That's the next thing I want to talk about. He might be able to survive through the 12 rounds. You hear me? I say might. I'm going to take right now in Bovada, unless I see something here in a little bit on the way in that will probably have passed by the time I get this thing uploaded. Hopefully I even get this up before the fight. I'm sure I will. But I'm just going to take Lomachenko at minus 400. That's where I see it on my casino. I've seen other ones have it higher, have his odds higher than that, lower. I don't know which way you want to say it. Where you get paid less for the money you bet. But at minus 400 is about the best odds I've seen for Lomachenko outright in this fight. And as you can probably tell, I think that's a bargain. I'm taking it. We'll talk to you soon. Enjoy this fight. Be sure you watch it.